Hey there internet, Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, we're going over what is the best garden hose foamer. Now we have a nice little selection here. These are all medium type priced all the way up to the highest priced, which is the Gilmour. I did a video on this maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It's one of my biggest videos. This thing is amazing. I decided to buy another one just to make sure it's the exact same thing that came through, and it is, other than they changed the orange to yellow. I kind of like the orange a little bit better. Just full brass, crazy good, but it's $83. We're gonna try two more that we've never tried before. So is it better? We're gonna find out. The Chemical Guys Torque 6. This is a suggested review to do. I've never really been too big of a fan of much things that are Chemical Guys, especially their hardware. Now this is something I've actually wanted to review for a while, but I just never really did. I thought, just by looking at the plasticness of it versus the Gilmour, I just didn't really think it was worth the $80 that they were selling this for. But on Amazon, it's $38. I bought it for 38 bucks a month or two ago, and it's still $38. The funny thing was, it was packaged, boxed, and taped Veloci MTM. It's the same type of bottle as the foam can, so you can actually use the same bottle if you have a foam cannon with your pressure washer that has the quick connect top. Now this you could buy 38 bucks without the gun, or $48 with a gun. Now all these come with quick connects, so they're brass quick connects on the back, and the MTM comes with stainless steel. Here's a spray gun that comes with the Gilmour. It's just no frills like zinc. You have the brass here is much better than the actual gun here. It's got a decent pull to it, a little bit of tension. Here's the Gilmour. We have that very durable HDPE bottle. The neck is wide, just like most of the other ones. The problem I have is the straw sitting straight down is fine, but the problem with that is because the bottom in the middle is not the lowest part of the bottle. So water and soap can sit on the outside here, but it's never going to get picked up from the center. And there's no way for this straw to move. That is the one flaw of the Gilmour that I would say that I dislike. Here's the fan spray. There's your, it does move. Now this is why I like the Gilmour. It is just the build quality. Look at all of that brass, the whole assembly. There's no plastic in there. Now this meter is how you do different dilutions. It goes from 2 ounces per gallon all the way up to 12 ounces per gallon. As you can see, the different size holes. I don't know if you can really see that. There's no measuring here. What they really want you to do with these things is to fill them all the way up with soap. And then you pick and choose your dilution ratios. It actually tells you on the different levels. Chemical Guys gun is basically the exact same thing. They're just threaded on the front, has that brass quick connect. That quick connect can be taken off and used on other things. And it just has that pull. Big, massive, dinky plastic thing at the end. I don't know. It's just, is that needed? Hopefully it chambers and does stuff. I just see a mesh screen. I can see all the way through to a hole on the other side. So I don't see a whole lot of like, chambering going on or something that would create the, the foam. You have the dialed numbers. And just like the Gilmour, that's different levels of ounces. I don't quite know what they are with this, but really with these, we're just going to try to dial in to get the foam we kind of like and not waste soap. This one has a wider neck as well. Straw though is a little bit curved, so it will sit into the bottom corner just like that. But as you can see, it's a flat filter at the bottom. So there's no way that's going to suck all liquid out the bottom. It doesn't sit there. It kind of sits at an angle like that. The handle does have a pretty nice ergonomic to it. It is clear, which is nice, but very tall, very unbalanced when the gun is on it. But empty, it's okay. But if you touch it, it's going to fall over. Here's the MTM. As you can see, we have that nice stainless steel quick connect for 38 bucks. This is a pretty quality. As you see, a number is kind of stamped on there rather than being colored. Has your different levels. Has a plastic piece at the end, obviously much higher quality than the Chemical Guys. This at the end does rotate, so we'll see what that does. It doesn't actually say on here that it does anything. Here's your quick connect top. As you can see, it's just plastic pieces, and I've had to cut those in order to get them to work right out of the box. It didn't want to connect very well. This does have some dilution markings down here at the bottom. Then you have ounces and milliliters all the way up. Now, we're not going to go crazy into the numbers, into the weeds, and the testing and review on this. We're not going to go checking to make sure that it's actually 2 ounces per gallon or 4 ounces per gallon. We're just wanting to foam the car with the soap we have and just use 1 ounce with our foaming for the entire car, which is what we would do with a foam cannon. And for that, we'll be using Incredible Suds, which we use in every video when it comes to foam. But this cleans really well. It's not pH neutral, but it's coating safe, they call it. It's got a pH of like 8.5. Foam's amazing. You can get 10% off of this with code Cars with Keeve at DIY Detail or the House of Rags. It's all depending on the soap though. Some soaps you may have to put 3 or 4 ounces in there to get any foam. Some it's just 1. It just depends on how concentrated they are. So we have the Gilmour here so we can kind of see what I think is the best before I even see the other two. If the other two are better, then I'll say they're better, but they have to dethrone the king here. It's been the king forever. Fair warning, if you're thinking this is gonna foam like a foam cannon from a pressure washer, it's not. These are low pressure. They don't have the ability to just agitate that soap like crazy and have the pressure to push it through a mesh filter in order to be able to create that really thick, lathery foam. This is gonna be a very watery, runny, I don't even know if you really call it foam. It's gonna be different. It's gonna move very fast on the panel. So if you're in high heat or you're in an area where you're washing in the sun, it's going to dry a lot faster than foam out of a foam cannon from a pressure washer because it's different. One thing I do like about the Gilmour is you see this plastic piece on the quick connect, just makes it easier for you to pull with a finger, push, take off. It's just a lot easier. So here's the first setting on the Gilmour. As you can see, not much of anything. If you're looking for a pre-rinse where you want to use soap with your rinse, that might work pretty well. We're going to go to the next setting, see what the difference is. This basically doubles the dilution. Still very runny, and if you got a car that's coated or sealed, as you see how this one's beating really well, it's just not going to stick to the surface and be much of a help but anything really. This one doubles the dilution again. Now that's slightly better. You have a little bit more clingier of a foam. This setting doesn't double it, but it goes from 4 ounces per gallon, I think I said, to 6 ounces per gallon. That's a little bit better. You get a little bit more uniform. You're getting a pull. You're getting some dwell time. Coated cars, it's not really sticking that great. As you can see, these areas are going to dry very quickly. So let's just go to full blast. This is full blast. And there's that foaminess we're talking about, a little bit better cling. You could use a little bit more soap, but I'm just using my normal dilution. I don't want to use more than 1 ounce per wash. I don't want to pay more. Now I'm going to take this to horizontal to show you what that behavior is like on a flat panel. Here we go. You see the difference between a flat panel and the vertical panel? The dwell is much better. It sits a lot better. It just kind of sits on the surface. We change that angle a little bit and show as that angle changes how that soap moves. Obviously, when you go vertical, it moves faster. So the trunk, your roof, your hood are going to sit a little bit longer. The sides of your car, they're going to move much faster. Now on here, on that setting it was at, it says it was at a 10-to-1 dilution ratio. Well, it's 10-to-1, 32-to-1 in the bottle, it's 320-to-1. That's actually just about the exact same dilution ratio that comes out of a foam cannon. Most of them operate between 10 and 15-to-1. It just depends on the pressure washer, the water flow, and the foam cannon and the orifice you have in the foam cannon. If you're dealing with these, you don't have to deal with orifices and all that, worry about all that stuff. You have a dial and you just change your soap. Here's our rinse off with the gun. I will say my pressure is a little bit higher than most and I get a pretty good flow out of the guns. So results may be different depending on your flow and your spigot. As you can see, more than enough pressure to get that foam off the surface. So there's no really adjustability to the pattern outside of how hard you pull the trigger. So here's the Chemical Guys, and actually has a rubbery piece at the end of the quick connect, which is a little bit better than the Gilmour. It really is. And it's a tight, snug little fit there. The gun is actually way more ergonomic. It has rubber ribs on it here. And the back, they're larger rubber ribs. And I gotta say, I actually like this trigger much better than the Gilmour. Setting 1. They were about the exact same amount that the Gilmour was on its setting 1. So this is setting 2. So let's go to setting 3. Yeah, I believe we're basically on the same settings as the Gilmour. Here's 4. Wow, that's actually not bad. So here's setting 5. Wow, that's some pretty good little foam there. I would say pretty close to the same as the Gilmour. Maybe it spreads a little bit differently. I gotta tell you, man, that closely rivals the Gilmour for sure. Let's do it horizontal. That's what she said. I gotta say the behavior of the soap is slightly different with the Chemical Guys. As you can see, but it's gonna start moving as we change our, you know, what our panel is. It's gonna move really fast this way. I'm gonna let it move a little bit, see how close it is dwell-wise to what the Gilmour was. I would say it's very close to the same, and I think the Chemical Guys is actually maybe pushing a little more soap because it definitely emptied a little bit quicker than the Gilmour. Gilmour still got a good bit in it. I gotta say, I really like the ergonomics on this. Chemical Guys, this is a good job on this sprayer. Now, you can use any sprayer with these guns. You don't have to use the ones that come with them. You have to have a sprayer that at the end has a quick connect that can use their quick connects. The Ely, I'll show that later. The Ely can be used on any of these because it has the threading at the top to put a quick connect on it. So here's the MTM Veloci. Now, one thing I will tell you is I tried to use the Chemical Guys gun with this. It does not work with their quick connect because how far the threading is on the outside of the Chemical Guys, it interrupts with how the MTM's quick connect mechanism is, and it doesn't lock down. But it works perfectly on the Gilmour. Gilmour has a much smaller thread pattern, and it's just a little bit different. So it works perfectly on the Gilmour gun. I'll tell you right now is straight out of the box that whoever put the Teflon and screwed down this quick connect, it shoots out of it. See that right there? So an F for effort for whoever tightened that down. Why would you Teflon it and then not tighten it down? Be very careful though, if you do have to tighten yours down, this is metal on plastic threads. You can strip them pretty easily. Setting 1. That's different. I'm gonna turn this. Like, what is the point in this thing spinning here at the front when it really doesn't do anything? I am not a fan of this. I don't like that kind. This is setting 2. The foam is decent at the settings. It doesn't look like it's changing much though. Here's 3. Yes, a little bit frothier, but it's moving faster. Here's 4. That's some goodness there. Here's 5. Can you really tell the difference though between them? Now, here's the difference between the foam between that and me holding the finger. Isn't that crazy? Just a little vent hole. I gotta say, that's frothier foam. But look at what you have to do to cover. It's just an inefficient spray. You see the foam is in bigger clumps, but it all combines down when you move it. Now it slows down. I would have to say it's my least favorite spray pattern. I absolutely hate it when they shoot just a stream. So does a spray gun make a difference? Well, we have the most expensive garden hose foamer setup that you could possibly get. We have the Ely spray gun right here with the shutoff valve. I think these run about 50 bucks. The nozzles are like 30 or 40 bucks. Ely is nothing better quality. You got 10-year warranty, full brass, just crazy joystick style shutoff valve. Amazing. I just keep it on here and I could put a quick connect at the end and then I just use that for everything. You know, if you want to check out the affiliate link below to them, you can check it out. I don't have a discount code or anything, but is it going to make things better? I mean, obviously this performs better than most of the spray guns that I've tried, but does it make a difference when it comes to foam? I don't know. Let's find out. Not really. But you can tell a difference in how easily you can cover the car with this fan versus that stream. durability testing time. And to get the key seal of approval, you have to survive 3 empty drops and 3 full drops. There we go. As you can see, not even really a scratch. Here we go, full. That hit hard. Did pretty well again. Whew. Survived. Nicely done. That bottle survived. Very good, MTM. Probably should wrench down that hood. Chemical Guys, very, very light. Good Lord, that hit hard. Top just popped off. That happens on quite a few of these when they get dropped. As expected, no problems at all, empty. I got a feeling we're filling this up every time because this top is going to come off every single time. Oh, it did on the second bounce it came off. I don't know what it is lately. I haven't been able to break clear bottles like I used to. Am I losing my touch, or the bottle manufacturer is getting better? Survive that drop. Oh, it got a big old dent, but that's no big deal. Still works. Last drop for the Chemical Guys. We just have that one big dent. Honestly, actually that popped out, that dent, most of it. Let's do the Gilmour empty. No problems. Here we go. Broke a piece of my concrete slab off. There we go. All 3 of them survived. Very nice. No dent, no damage at all. So which is the best? Dang sure isn't the MTM, but the Chemical Guys and the Gilmour are the only 2 spots on this podium. I still prefer the Gilmour overall. The all brass construction, I like the fan a little bit better. It's not as wide. I like a little bit narrower with this type of foam. The combo with the gun's actually really nice. It's the grip's on it very nice. The gun that comes with the Gilmour isn't that great. But this is $49.99. This is $83. I mean, it's up to you to decide which one you're pick. But Chemical Guys, you actually made a pretty decent product right here. But there you go. Don't forget to check the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Well, that's it for the overview. That's it for the overview. Before we get into that's it for the overview. But that's it for the overview. That's it before the oh my gosh. The ergonomic. I just shot it all over everything over there. Never ceases to amaze me. I always end up spraying myself. So we got a 3 here, but it's really a battle of 2. So the 3, which is the best? It's not the MTM, that's for sure. But there you go. Which is the best? It dang sure isn't the MTM.